Have you taken my Great Rub Off class? If you have, or if you haven't, I have an exciting book to share with you today on cool tools. Claire-Louise Hardie reached out to me. She lives in England, and she wrote a book called Clone Your Clothes. And she asked if I was interested in promoting it here in the US, and she sent me a copy, and I love her book. And I felt like it wasn't really a conflict of interest because, you know, I have my Great Rub Off Workbook. My workbook is a basic guide to show you step by step how to rub off garments, either from tracing around for simple garments or to rub off from the surface of the garment if there are internal seam allowances or armholes or things that you need to capture that you can't trace by going around the edges. And I'm not going to be developing my Great Rub Off any further than this, but I will refer to her book in my classes because she has some really cool things in here. So if you've been rubbing things off or cloning your clothes and you'd like another really good resource for this, this book is amazing. So I just want to show you here. The reason why I really like her book is because it goes beyond just showing how to do the process. And if I flip through some of the pages here, I just want to show you that she starts out by, you know, explaining how to clone clothes. She talks about tools and equipment and the importance of picking out the appropriate fabric for making your garment after you clone a garment. So your fabric choice needs to sort of agree with what you're cloning. And then she shows you how to analyze your garment, make sure that you're working with a garment you're going to be successful with. And she really goes into detail with this. She also talks about creating a sewing construction order, which I don't touch upon in my book, in my workbook. So I just feel like this is much more detailed than my Rub Off workbook. So I'm very happy to share this with you. She has 3 different methods that she uses: direct measurements, tracing, and over draping. Now the tracing and over draping are very similar to what I do, but she also does a method of measuring, and I find this very interesting. So for things like a skirt, let's say, you could physically measure the dimensions of the skirt and just draft them onto the paper without trying to trace or work with the garment directly on the paper. And I kind of like that. So that's a really cool method for something simple like a skirt. Then the second method, like I said, is the method where you trace around the edges, and you use this method for things that are pretty simple, and then you can work with that. And she goes through all of these step by step. There's beautiful color photography here, and I'm just flipping through the pages so you can see. Her over draping method is, again, putting something over the garment like pattern ease or, you know, something where you can see through it and also capture the details. So she goes through those sorts of things, and she even shows you how to create pleats, darts, ruffles. She has a chart for determining how long the fabric needs to be to get a certain amount of ruffle that you're looking for. I thought that was very cool. And then after she shows all of these methods to clone the garment, she goes through showing you how to true up the pattern, create your pattern pieces, finish your pattern pieces, and then she shows you how to make a toile. So it's just such a wonderful start to finish book. And then beyond that, there is a bonus. So I was skimming along here, and part 2 is design school, and she shows you how to make a capsule wardrobe. So you can take things out of your closet, put them together, and they don't need to match in your closet, but then when you sew them up, you can actually make a capsule, you know, a little capsule wardrobe by making them all, you know, work together with your fabric choices. So I just really love this. I love this book, and I think she did such a great job with it. I'm just looking here to see if there's anything else I want to point out to you. She shows layouts for the pieces. So it goes well beyond my Great Rub Off workbook, which is just rubbing off. There's no additional sorts of information here. But, you know, I really think you'd get a lot out of it, especially if you've tried cloning your own clothes and you'd like to see, you know, a fresh take on it. So I really recommend this book. I'm going to put an affiliate link from Amazon to it if you'd like to check it out. For each of the capsule wardrobe garments, she goes through the process start to finish, showing you how to clone that garment and then how to make the pattern pieces, and then she shows you layout and she gives you tips for construction. And then at the very end there is a cloning worksheet, so you can copy these pages and have a worksheet for each garment that you're working on. This will help you keep track of what it looks like. You can have a sketch or a picture. You can label all your pattern pieces. There's even a list, like a checklist, to make sure you're not skipping any steps. I think this is just a wonderful thing to have. And then you can record all your information on it, so when you go back to look at it, you'll be able to, you know, refer back to your checklist. And I think that just makes it easier, you know, to keep track of what you're doing. And then if you want to do it again, you have all your notes and everything. So cloning clothes worksheet is very cool. And then she also gives you a glossary of different markings that you would find on a, you know, on a professionally made pattern. So she shows you what circle, dots, and squares are for as markings for, you know, placing buttonholes or matching dots. She shows you what a dart looks like and how to draw that, how to draw your grain line, how to draw, you know, cut on fold. So when you are working with your pattern pieces, it'll be very easy for you to sort of identify what you're doing with the pattern pieces after you cut them out of fabric. So I just think this is a wonderful book, and I recommend it. I'm very excited that she reached out to me. This is a very cool book. It's called Clone Your Clothes by Claire-Louise Hardie. And again, I'm going to put a link in the description below, so check that out. And I just want to announce one other thing about my Cool Tool situation here. I have finally figured out how to make a storefront in Amazon. So in the next week or two, I will be talking more about how you can go and find all the things that I love. All of my cool tools will be all in one place, because every now and then someone will ask me, you know, where's your storefront, or where's the link for this cool tool? I can't find it. So I'm super excited that I have now figured out how to become an Amazon influencer, which is different than an Amazon affiliate, which I didn't realize. But the bottom line is I'm going to have an Amazon storefront. It's in the works right now, and I'll launch it or talk about it more as it gets filled up with all the things, but I'm super excited about that as well. All right, so that's all for today. I just wanted to come on and share this wonderful book by Claire-Louise Hardie, Clone Your Clothes. I think it's wonderful. Go check it out if it's something you're interested in. If you have any questions or comments, please post those below and I will help you. If you're enjoying my content, consider liking and subscribing to my channel because it helps me grow. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.